Political parties participating in the September 21 Edo State governorship election are expected to sign a peace accord on September 12, according to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. At an emergency meeting with national chairmen and secretaries of all registered political parties, INEC chairman explains that the decision to sign the peace accord early is to enable the National Peace Committee to monitor compliance by the parties before the election. He, however, frowned at the attitude of political parties who failed to adhere to rules, especially regarding the upload of particulars of the polling and collation agents for the election. With just 22 days to go, the Electoral Commission is at its final stage of preparations for the conduct of the election.
After consultation with the National Peace Committee, under the leadership of our respected former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, the signing of the peace accord for the Edo State governorship election will take place on Thursday, 12th September 2024 in Benin City. Supported by eminent members of the Peace Committee, the occasion will be presided over by the chairman, General Abdulsalami Abubakar. You may notice that unlike the previous peace accords signed a few days to the election, it was decided to do so early this time around to enable the Peace Committee to monitor compliance with the code voluntarily signed by parties, candidates, and other critical players in the electoral process, such as INEC and the security agencies. So compliance will be monitored during the remaining days of the election. This will add further weight to the peace accord beyond mere ceremony, as demanded by many observers and even some of the political actors themselves.
INEC chairman there. Let's bring in Rotimi Oyekanmi, Chief Press Secretary to the INEC chairman, for updates on INEC's preparations for the upcoming Edo State governorship election. Good to have you on Newsnight tonight. Well, it's good to note that you're taking the issue of a peace accord very seriously, but one wonders how much difference really have these peace accords made before now. What's INEC's assessment in terms of the conduct of the political gladiators so far, even before the set date, for the peace accord signing? What are you finding out so far? Are there any areas of concern?
Well, so far so good. I think the political parties have behaved themselves, except for one incident that happened some weeks ago, which one of the parties complained about concerning the security outfit in Edo State, which was quickly attended to by the Commissioner of Police there. There has been no incident. And we must praise the National Peace Committee. They are doing tremendous work. The influence they have in all our elections have been quite beneficial to the country. And I tell you, political gladiators take the Peace Committee seriously. So when you have a person like General Abdulsalami Abubakar, Bishop Kuka, and all the respectable members of that committee come out to say, look, give peace a chance, and you commit as one of the candidates, I think it has really gone a long way over time.
Okay, that's interesting to note, but it looks like INEC is just merely pleading with political parties. I mean, here you're frowning at the attitude of political parties who fail to adhere to rules, especially regarding the upload of particulars. It looks like INEC is unwilling to wield the big stick, if there's any at all.
Well, we consult with political parties. We discuss issues. We are regulators. We have certain powers. But it is not every time that you use the stick when you are addressing a child's weaknesses. You try to explain to the child why the child should do X, Y, Z. And persuasion has helped us a great deal over the years. But of course, when political parties fail to adhere, then we can apply the sanctions. And that is why our own attitude is that if we notice something, we call a meeting, we tell them that, look, we need to deal with this issue. And it has been helpful. But when they fail or where they fail, then we can apply the sanctions. And at that time, nobody will blame us for taking such actions.
Well, INEC says it's prepared. Give us a sense of your preparations for this election that is just less than a month away.
Thank you very much. To start with, we released the timetable and schedule 1 year ahead. And so far, we have implemented 10 out of 13 activities. In fact, last Tuesday, we presented the register of voters to the political parties. The configuration of the BVAS machine that we use in all the over 4,000 polling units have been done. The BVAS machines are being charged as I speak. The training of security agents have been completed. And we are, of course, farming up the supply of non-sensitive materials that will be used for the election. We are also training our staff. We have a platform that monitors the movement of all the materials and equipment that we need for the election. And all our electoral officers are there, all our directors are there, and of course, there are timelines for everything. If something is supposed to be at a local government at a particular time, if it's not there, it will trigger something, and then we're able to address that. And I think that by and large, we are prepared for it. The mock accreditation will be done in about 2 weeks, where we will ask voters in about 12 polling units across 3 senatorial districts to come out, and we want to test run the beavers. So they will come out with their PVCs, for accreditation, and then we will upload that to the INEC result viewing portal. That's
barely 2 weeks to the election. I mean, that you'll be putting the beavers to test.
Yeah,
shouldn't you have enough time to ensure that, you cross the T's and dot the I's on the issue of the beavers?
We are sure of what we have. But again, we also like to test run. It's like you put everything in place, and then you just want to see in case something comes up. But we are clear.
So about transportation, how is INEC navigating that? INEC should have 2 problems now: the riverine areas in Edo State and the roads that are impassable in Edo State from the Edo Central, from Ekpoma access to Agbede to Edo North. There's no road at all, and security is very important. So how is INEC navigating this challenge?
That's why we have what you call the Memorandum of Understanding with transport unions and vehicle owners and boat owners. We sit down and have strategic meetings. Because they're on the ground, they tell us all the challenges and tell us what we need, what they need to do to overcome the challenges. And then we agree on, the gray areas, how much is going to be paid, at what point, what percentage they will get, and all of that. And we have concluded that. And honestly, I think that has helped, because over the years, we have been able to identify some of the grievances they have, in the arrangement to pay them. And since we have been able to deal with that, things have been smooth.
But one would have thought that by now, INEC will be looking for other means in terms of logistics, beyond this deals with, transporters and what have you, to ensure a watertight situation. I'd like you to respond to that. And very quickly, the use of technology, is it going to be 100%? Will there be backup in terms of, manual
glitches?
Those glitches that happened based on experience.
We don't now. Technology is good for elections, but technology is not a silver bullet. We know that certain things can happen, but for us, we don't think that any glitch will happen on election day. And we always say this: IRE was our invention. The BVAS was our invention. Okay, what the BVAS does is to authenticate and accredit voters on election day. And at the end of voting, at the end of the process, it takes a picture of the Form CHAs, that's the polling unit result, then uploads that to IREF. Now, that is not electronic voting, and that is not electronic collation. The IREF is just like, in a football field where you have this scoreboard, that's the function of the IREF. When you score a goal in the stadium, it goes to the scoreboard, you know, and if team A scores, it's there. If team B equalizes it, it goes there. But assuming that as the match progresses, electricity fails, right? And then at that time, another team scores, you know. So if electricity comes back, it doesn't remove the fact that goals have been scored. So the IREV is there as a scoreboard in that sense, and as a board where you just paste. It doesn't change anything. You just paste something there, and it holds it for as long as you leave it there. And that's why all the results that we have put there are still there for people to view.
Isn't that why some are already skeptical in Edo State? Two of the political parties are already pointing fingers at INEC, accusing your body of trying to rig the election in favor of another party.
No, we don't rig elections. And in fact, today we conduct election, free, fair, and credible elections.
Great.
Now, that was even one of the reasons why we had emergency meeting today. Because you see, political parties are expected to nominate agents at all the levels, polling unit, collation, right? Now, there is a procedure for doing that. The procedure is that you upload those agents with their pictures to a particular portal that we have created so that we can now produce the tags that you will use on election day. And the tags will have QR codes that can be identified. The idea is that we don't want people coming out to pretend to be agents. Now, the purpose for agents being there is that, you know, for instance, at the polling unit, after the declaration of results there, you are supposed to have a copy.
Yeah.
So any political party that thinks that INEC wants to rig should make sure that it has an agent at all levels, because we must give you a copy of that result, and then you have it and you can present it. So if the result says you won and INEC then declares something else, you can go to court to tender it, and the court will have no option than to take it. So we don't rig elections.
All right. I hope there's voter education going on by INEC.
Oh,
because that's part of
tremendous. Even in local dialects, it's going on. You know, there are various angles to it. We also have persons living with disability. And of course, you have the elderly, you have those who don't even speak too much of English. And there's a process for voting. We have to explain what they will expect, what they will do and see when they get to the polling units, the issue of the beavers, why they must go to the polling unit with their permanent voter cards and all of that. So across several state-owned radio stations, TV stations, even national, we are intensifying those things. And they also go to marketplaces to do that.
All right, and you have all the funding you need to, you know, conduct the election. Rotimi Oyekanmi, Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman.
Right.
Thank you very much for joining us on Newsday.